There is a specific dollar amount in your brokerage account, probably right now as you're watching this, past which your contributions to retirement become almost mathematically irrelevant. Not useless, not unimportant, almost irrelevant. And the reason nobody has given you this number is not that it's complicated. The formula takes 4 minutes. It's that there are multiple industries with trillions of dollars in revenue that have a direct financial incentive to make sure you never stop feeling like you need their help. There was a man who worked at Microsoft from 2003 to 2018, 15 years, maxed his 401k every year without exception, drove the same used Honda Civic for almost a decade, brown-bagged lunch more often than not, built $750,000 by age 42. Then he quit, left to teach yoga for $38,000 a year. His former colleagues were concerned. His parents called less. His LinkedIn connections left the kind of supportive comments that aren't really supportive. But here is what nobody in that story understood. Even if he never contributed another dollar to any investment account for the rest of his life, not a single cent, that $750,000 compounds to approximately $2.3 million in today's purchasing power by age 65. At 5% real return, conservative, he hadn't lost his mind. He had crossed an invisible mathematical line, one most investors don't even know exists. And once he crossed it, he made the rational decision to stop behaving as though he hadn't. Then there's the opposite direction. Corporate attorney, 51 years old, $320,000 annual income, $1.22 million in invested assets, still working 70+ hour weeks, has a $2 million number lodged in his head and will not allow himself to breathe until he hits it. He has spreadsheets, multiple tabs. The spreadsheets are meticulous, and the core assumption is completely wrong. Because if he stopped contributing today, literally never invested another dollar, that $1.22 million compounding at 7% grows to approximately $2.7 million by 65. He is already mathematically guaranteed to exceed the very number he's grinding himself into the ground to reach. Nobody told him. Nobody in his professional orbit profits from telling him. And so the treadmill continues, and the number keeps looking like it's in front of him, and it has been behind him for years. Both of these people cross the same invisible threshold, a threshold with a name, a formula, a number you can calculate with information you already have. In this video, I'm going to walk you through that formula completely, explain the two related concepts that most people confuse into one, a confusion that costs years of unnecessary grinding, and give you the psychological framework for what to actually do once you know where your line is. Because somewhere in the middle of this video, there's a real chance you'll realize you're closer to it than you thought, or already past it, and you had no idea. By the way, I built a free early retirement calculator because most of the online ones are mathematically broken. They use nominal return rates when they should be using real rates. They skip Social Security offsets, and they generate numbers that feel precise but are quietly wrong in ways that compound into large errors over decades. Mine uses the same underlying logic BlackRock and Vanguard applied to institutional planning. Link is in the description. Now, I want to give you one mental image to carry through everything I'm about to explain. Imagine your path to retirement as a carriage being pulled up a mountain by 2 horses. The first horse is your contributions, every paycheck you redirect into your 401k, your IRA, or your brokerage account. In the early years of your financial life, this horse is doing almost all the work. Without your paycheck, the carriage doesn't move. The second horse is compounding. In the beginning, this horse is a pony. You have $20,000 invested. It earns 7%. You get $1,400 that year. Meanwhile, you're manually contributing $20,000 a year. The pony is present technically, but nobody's counting on it for anything serious.
Here's what nobody explains clearly enough. These 2 horses don't stay equal. One gets tired, the other gets stronger. And at a very specific point on the mountain, the compounding horse becomes powerful enough that even if the contribution horse collapses completely and stops pulling, the carriage still reaches the top. The math guarantees it. I'm going to call it by 2 names because it is actually 2 distinct things. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact formula for your personal coast number, the dollar figure that once you hit it means compound growth alone carries you to retirement without another dollar of contributions. But first, let me show you why the standard timeline most people are following is built around an assumption that stops being true somewhere in your mid-30s or 40s. The assumption is this: Your contributions are always the most important variable. But actually, the problem is not knowing when savings stops being the main engine. Let me show you this with numbers. Assume you're contributing $20,000 a year. When your portfolio is at $100,000, 7% returns $7,000. Your contribution is doing 74% of the growth. At $300,000, 7% returns $21,000. Now you and compounding are splitting the load 50-50. The pony became a real horse. At $1 million, 7% returns $70,000. Your $20,000 contribution represents less than 22% of growth. You are support staff. Compounding is the main character. What happens to your retirement timeline if you stop contributing at different checkpoints? Baseline, contribute the whole way, hit 1 million in 22 years. Stop at 100K, total time 38 years. You added 16 years. You stopped too early. Stop at 500K, total time 25 years. Stopping halfway to your dollar goal added only 3 years to your timeline. Halfway to your goal in dollars is not halfway in time. This is the hidden architecture of compound growth. Now, let's distinguish between the crossover point and Coast Fi. The crossover point is psychological. It's the moment your portfolio's annual return exceeds your annual contribution. Coast Fi is the actual number. It's the portfolio balance today that will compound into your complete retirement target by your retirement date with 0 future contributions. The Coast Fi formula. Determine target annual spending. Example, $65,000. Subtract reliable non-portfolio income like Social Security. Example, $20,000. Portfolio needs to generate $45,000. Divide by 0.04, the 4% rule. $45,000 divided by 0.04 equals 1.125 million target. Reverse compound to today. Divide your target by 1 plus real return to the power of years until retirement. If you're 35, retiring at 65, 30 years, and use a 5% real return, $260,000. If you have that today, your retirement is mathematically secured. Take Sarah, 38, with $420,000. Her coast number was $324,000. She passed it 2 years ago. She's been making high-stress career decisions from a position of perceived scarcity that the math does not support. Then there's Marcus, 43, with $540,000. His coast number is $427,000. He cleared it with $100K to spare, yet he still can't sleep. Marcus doesn't have a math problem, he has a psychology problem. Loss aversion makes a 30% drop on $540K feel 10 times worse than a drop on $50K, even if he's already won. Your financial advisor's incentive is to manage your money, not to tell you that you no longer need intensive management. Incentives produce consistent behavior invisibly. The 3 levels of freedom. Level 1, crossover point. Compounding is doing real work. Stop the anxiety. Level 2, Coast Fi. The actual line. Every dollar from here is optional enrichment. Level 3, full FI. The complete summit. Most planning ignores levels 1 and 2, stripping you of the psychological benefits. 3 takeaways. Calculate your coast number this week. If you're below it, feed the contribution horse. If you're above it, recognize that your contributions are now a choice. Run the Lifestyle Delta audit. Every 10K increase in annual spending adds $250K to your target. Make sure the summit hasn't moved. Build identity infrastructure. If your purpose is only income optimization, crossing the line creates a vacuum. Build something outside of work that carries real stakes. Almost no financial mistake is a math problem. Almost all of them are brain problems. The difficulty is not in the equation, it's in trusting the equation when it's already working in your favor. Know your crossover, calculate your coast number. Feed the second horse until it's strong enough. Recognize when it is, then choose what comes next deliberately, not by default.